Guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. I am so happy that you're here. Today I have a new design team project for the Not Too Shabby shop, and this is using the box of the month. The hardest part with the box of the month is deciding what to use out of the fantastic set. I mean, we've got 3 different stamp sets, we've got a couple of paper packs, which I haven't even touched yet, and then we've got all that fun ephemera, plus look at this, we've got these fun confetti pieces. So I decided I'm going to make a shaker card and use some of the paper packs and ephemera for this card. So I'm looking in these two, and I decided that I'm going to use these 2 pages. I'm already deciding that this is probably not fair the way they've got it designed. It's awesome, but it's still not fair. I'm wanting to use 2. One is kind of a busy, and one is kind of a white, kind of white space-ish, but still having a design. So on one side, we've got these sunflowers with the pretty blue background, and then we've got the blue honeycomb, which would be perfect. And then when I flipped it over, I saw, yeah, I could use this for the same idea that I have. So I still haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. I may have to just make 2 cards, but I am going to go ahead and cut these down to the pieces that I'm going to need for my shaker. Okay, so I've got my little windows cut out, and I just used some one of my nested die sets from my stash, and I'm going to go ahead and start building the window. Now for this, what I want to do is I want to use up some of my packaging because I have way too much of it and I need to make more shakers. So I am going to think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it to size for one of the windows, and that's actually the same size as the backing, so I just can use that. Oh, and this is going to be perfect. Just going to add some double-sided adhesive to the inside edge of my frame, and then I can adhere that clear plastic onto that. So use up all of your I'm sure you have, we all have clear packaging, so go ahead and use that up on some shaker cards. I'm going to go ahead and remove that release paper so I can put my piece of plastic down. To start though, I want to make sure I get it straight, so I'm going to just do 2 sides, and that's just so I can get it lined up right, because I do have this pretty much lining up to the edge.
Like today I woke up.
So this is some plastic. You can't really see it, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it down on the part that does not have exposed adhesive, and lay that down and just adhere that. So we are good there. Awesome. And now I can remove the adhesive backing from the other 2 sides.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have our shaker window.
I gave myself 2.
And the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to add some
So I woke up.
foam to the back, and I think, okay, so this is like standard width, so I may decide to go ahead and do double layer.
I need to stop doing it.
So I'm going to do double layer. The easiest way I found to do that, and the only reason I'm thinking of doing that is if I want to add any kind of thick things in there, but I'm going to go ahead and just add it on, just fold it back on itself, and that gives you double layer. And then I'll remove the backing from one side and line this back up right in that little frame. Okay. I'm going to take one of my little bees. Actually, I think I'm going to do a couple of them. These guys are just too cute. These are a couple of pieces from the ephemera. And I'm going to suspend them on some clear, this is some clear monofilament thread. So I'm going to basically have it kind of hanging in between there, not too tight so that it'll be able to move. And I think that's going to be pretty cute. And then I can decorate the rest of the card with some more of this fun ephemera. And I cannot claim to have come up with this idea. I saw a Jennifer McGuire video earlier this week. So awesome. But I saw a Jennifer McGuire video earlier this week, and this is what she did. So I think I'm going to have one of them buzzing around on one side. Just kind of wanting to gauge where I want this. I'm just going to tape this to the back of my little bee. So there he is. You can hardly see the string. So we've got our little bee, and I'm going to have one on this side. I think that is probably about where I want it. And then the other one, I think I want it to kind of face going up, so I'm going to have him down at the bottom-ish, about right there. Okay, and now I'm going to put that release paper back on it.
No, I didn't get COVID, at least it's not as far as I know.
Okay, I'm going to go with this side.
That I gave myself heat poisoning because I did it again.
Okay, so now I have them kind of sort of hanging in there, which is cool. My only issue is that this filament thread is, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it says it's 8 pound. This is so thick that it doesn't look like it gives much wiggle room, and I do need to still adhere them down at the bottom, but just not adhere it tight. So I'm going to take up some of the release paper on this side and kind of loosely attach it. So it should be able to move around a little bit. Let me get a little bit tighter than that. I want it to be loose enough so it can kind of wiggle around a little bit with the shaker bits. So I think those little, even if the bees just stay where they are, I think that is super cute. I think I want them, one reason why I moved them a little bit further down in the middle is give them a little bit more wiggling room, although they really don't wiggle much. But I think I do want one of them a little higher and the other one a little lower. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pull and move him up to the top. Now, if you have a bigger shaker window, this would work, I think, even better. And they're not really going to, they're not going to get loose once we're done because I'm going to have all of this adhered down to my other piece of cardstock. Okay, so having them a little bit offset like that, that looks kind of cool. Next, I'm going to use an anti-static powder tool on the inside. And the reason I want to do that is I want to do it right up against the foam, because I don't want my stuff to be sticking to the inside level. Now, it shouldn't. I mean, on the sides of your foam tape, it should be pretty smooth. It shouldn't have any adhesive there, but I have still had it happen. Now I'm going to open up, it has not been opened yet, my little package of sequin mix from, this calls for confetti. Okay, so I'm going to I was thinking of doing the trimming last, but I think I'm going to trim some of this down because it is really getting in the way, and I'm not going to be able to add my shaker bits if it's curling back around. I am going to trim the rest of it off in a minute, but first let's put some of these little shaker bits in, and these have got blue and gold and white and little bees in there too, so that's going to be super fun. I'm going to try not to go overboard. I'm going to say that that one is done. So next I'm going to start peeling up some of this adhesive. And like I did the first time, I'm going to adhere my backing to the edges that are exposed, but I'm going to leave the others with the adhesive knot. Okay, so that way I can line it up and then just press it down on the two other sides. That is good. And now I can remove the release paper on the other two sides and then press those down into place. So now we have a little honeycomb with lots of sequins in there, and I can trim off these extra bits of that filament thread. Okay, so if you use a thinner thread, that's why I was saying what the weight was on it. If you use a thinner thread, it may work better for you. And it looks like this is a little bit crooked, and that is fine. I'm just going to trim off that little bit of excess on the side over here, so it's not going to be seen when I mount this onto my card base. Now I can just place this in the center. Okay, and so it still has that nice pretty white border that I like, but I'm also going to add a couple of little extras. This is from the ephemera. Okay, let me go ahead and add some. This is going to be basically on this part of the frame for her. Riding her bicycle with some fun sunflowers. Okay, and I think I do need a little bit of foam. I'm going to put a little bit of foam under her wheel. Okay, so that's under her wheel. Okay, so that worked perfect. And now I just need to add my little beehive or bee leave in yourself sentiment there, and just need a little bit to go on that corner, so I'm going to just cut another small piece. So that's going to go there, and then a little piece of foam on the end here. And that is, I think that turned out super cute. Got our little shakers going on. We've got our little bees kind of hanging around in there over the shaker bits. That is lovely. I'm loving this card. I am going to make another one of these and probably send those out to a couple of my crafty friends. So you guys have a wonderful day. And if you'd like to see some more videos where I'm using some not too shabby shop products, be sure to check out this playlist. You guys have a wonderful day. And remember, if I can make it, you can too. Thank you much.